Welcome to the channel, Our New Narrative. I'm Andre Davis, and today I'm going to start off with a statement, then some facts, and as usual, I'll provide links to the books I got the facts from in the description below. Then I'll follow those facts with some very strong opinions. If you get something out of this, hit the like and subscribe button to support the channel. I really appreciate it. Now here's the statement. America was founded on the ideas of capitalism, not socialism. It was the ideas of individual responsibility and freedom that aligned with capitalism that ended slavery, an institution as old as the history of mankind that touched every race on the planet. And it also produced the greatest economy the world has ever seen. I'm talking about the period between after the Civil War and up until the Great Depression. It also produced the greatest standard of living in the history of the world. Now, it was the ideas of collectivism and group superiority that aligns itself with socialism that produced racism, white supremacy, black power, and has been slowly chipping away at our standard of living. We have gone from the world's greatest producers to the world's greatest debt-ridden consumers. Now, here's some facts. Okay. Pre-Civil War, 1/3 of Americans lived in the South. 2/3 lived in the North. 1/10 of the blacks in America lived in the North. And 9/10, the vast majority, lived in the South. Fact, at the very height of slavery in America, less than 11% of all Americans, white or black, owned slaves. And as you know, slavery was pretty much illegal in the North before the Civil War. Now, more facts. Representatives of 4 distinct cultures from England populated early America. They were from Southern England, Northern England, Ireland, and Scotland. Those who settled north of Virginia, let's say the Massachusetts area, were primarily representatives of the Puritan and Quaker cultures of Southern England. Those who settled in Virginia and to its south were primarily representatives of the Cavalier culture of Southern England. I have to use the term redneck here, not as an insult, but simply as an identifier. The last of the 4 cultures are representatives of the redneck culture, which originated in the northern border region of England, Ireland, and Scotland. They primarily settled in Virginia, west of Virginia in the Appalachians, and south of Virginia. More facts. 9/10 of blacks, vast majority, in America were exposed to and adopted attributes of the Cavalier and redneck cultures of their poor white neighbors or overseers. They also were exposed to and adopted attributes of the Cavalier culture of the plantation owners. Fact. The importation of slaves to America was outlawed in 1808, and by 1850, the majority of blacks in America were 4 to 5 generations removed from Africa, leaving only remnants of any African culture. Okay, more facts. And this was very surprising to me when I found out that the oratorical, flamboyant way of preaching is so prevalent in the black community. The jumping of brooms at weddings, eating chitlins, all that originated across the pond well before America was founded in redneck culture in northern Britain, Scotland, and Ireland. With all of that said, I'll say this. The cultural values of those who settled in the North were more in line with the individual freedom and responsibility that aligned with capitalism and the cultural values of those who settled in the South were more in line with the collectivist group responsibility that aligns with socialism. Now, there are exceptions, especially in the redneck culture, but for the most part, that's true. So, Gettr Superstar, your cultural brother is in the Appalachian Mountains and not the plains of Africa. You have just as much in common with someone in Ghana that someone in Wales has with someone in Moscow. Speaking of Moscow, I think it's amazing that a white Russian can legally immigrate to America today, become a citizen and vote, and vote as a member of the political majority. But a brother from New York, whose ancestors have been voting since the end of the Civil War, is considered a member of the political minority. So you might say, so what? Why are you pissing me off? Why are you messing with my identity? Now, the preceding information is used to show a contrast in cultural, social, and political values of people of the same race. And the vast majority of blacks were exposed to and adopted the cultural values prevalent in what we consider the South. And to bring to light that these facts have been ignored, dismissed, and hidden from Americans by race-hustling politicians of all races in order to advance their political agenda to all of our detriment. Now, here are my strong opinions. Long ago, politicians came up with a technique to ensure votes. This is a democracy, so the more votes, the better. Here's the technique. You make an identifiable group of people's cultural values synonymous with a certain political ideology, making it difficult to attack the political ideology without being seen as attacking that identifiable group's cultural values. The results since the implementation of this technique has been that the cultural values of blacks are seen as socialist in nature by capitalists, and the cultural values of whites are seen as capitalist in nature by socialists. Now, if you are white and disagree with the political ideas championed in the black community, you are seen as a white racist. And if you are black and you agree with the ideas championed in white communities, you're seen as a sellout. That does not apply to whites or blacks who are stupid enough to be objectively racist. Sorry. The modern day term for white racist or black sellout simply distracts from the real possibility and likelihood that these people simply value the concepts of individual freedom and responsibility required of you from capitalism more than collectivist group responsibility of socialism. Now let's remember what Frederick Douglass said about socialism. Socialism is, say it with me, slavery of all, by all. Politicians created political identifications based on race and fostered a narrative of racial identity based on victimization, all while dismissing the power of individual values, choices, and goals that lead to personal success. Now, you've heard it here first. All men are created equal, but ideas, values, and choices are not. Just being black is not a skill set unless you're a race hustler, nor is just being white a skill set unless you are a race hustler. Exceptional people are the result of their exceptional choices, not skin color. The NBA won't take any black guy off the street and put him on the NBA or put him on a team in the NBA, nor will NASA take any black guy off the street and put him in the space shuttle. If you want to play in the NBA or go to Mars, you have to make that personal decision early in life, not when you get to college. Another very strong opinion, a political identity based on race and an identity based on victimization simply provides race hustling politicians and social activists platforms to claim that they will protect you from the proverbial them for their financial gain. Now here's some advice from a guy you don't know. Protect your damn self. by gaining marketable skills other people are willing to pay for by all means necessary. Understand that America is the land of opportunity, not for whites or blacks, but for opportunists. If you're poor and unhappy because you're poor, someone in your family has to make the hard choice, which is to sacrifice present pleasure for future success. If your parents value your appearance over your academic record, evidenced by several $100s spent on Jordans or several $100s spent on country music concert tickets, and no dollars spent on math tutors, you can make the individual choice to have different priorities. Don't let anyone tell you that institutionalized racism is holding you back or them back. There is no Klan member threatening anybody's life if they learn calculus or physics. Math never called anybody the N-word. Individual choices and their benefits or their consequences has always and always will be more influential to personal success or failure than a racial identity. Now let me know what you think in the comments. If you got something out of this, hit the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to check out the links to the books in the description so you can get the facts for yourself and not just be subject to people like me who are full of opinions. See you next time.